Hi, I'm Avi, a Canadian Jewess. I went on a birthright trip and fell in love with Israel. This is my vlog about the most contentious state in the Middle East. Welcome to Avi Does the Holy Land. Shitting on Israel is a favorite pastime of haters everywhere these days. Seems like Israel is the democratic punching bag for the whole wide world. And no one punches that punching bag harder than Peter Beinart, journalist, author, Jew, and belly-aching leftist shithead extraordinaire. I sat down with Peter because I wanted to engage in a serious and thorough debate about Israel using everything I had learned on Birthright. Don't worry, Israel. Avi is behind you. How can you accuse Israel of being undemocratic?
I believe that the success and survival of its democracy is critical to its long-term success. And so therefore, holding millions of people in an undemocratic occupation, I believe is dangerous for the country that you and I both care about.
I went on Birthright, okay? And we totally saw the diversity and the democratic values of this country. They took us to a Bedouin village, and like this adorable little Bedouin Arab guy named Mahmoud was playing bongos. It was us Jews hanging out with these Arabs. It's totally diverse, and I think anyone who doesn't think so is an anti-Semite, and that's a statement, not a question.
Okay,
Why do you ignore world issues and only hate on Israel?
For me, Israel has a special, particular importance because I'm a Jew, and the way Jews act ethically is extremely important to me.
I don't understand why you don't spend more time criticizing some of the real atrocities that are going on. I don't hear you talking about unsafe labor conditions in Bangladesh. I don't hear you talking about Boko Haram. Do you know what they're doing in China? They're occupying Tibet. Have you seen the Rage Against the Machine album? That's a monk lighting himself on fire. Coney 2012. The marauding whalers of Japan. What about the whales, Peter? What about the whales? Dolphins are being caught in the nets of tuna fish. Farmers, Peter Beinart does not care about dolphins. He doesn't care at all about dolphins.
You may have me on that last point.
Why do you blame Israel for terrorism?
So I've read that you put some of the blame for Palestinian violence on Israel's own policies. Aren't you saying in some way that Israel, who is a victim of terror, is responsible in some way for the terror that is perpetuated against it?
No, terrorism is inexcusable if you make it extremely difficult for Palestinians to get anywhere pursuing their rights non-violently. Then you make it easier for those people to commit terrible, terrible terrorist acts.
And hearing that you're blaming the victim, that's kind of like blaming a rape victim for wearing a short skirt.
I don't think the analogy is entirely correct.
This one time in 2009, I dressed up as a slutty Indian for the Hillel Howler. My mom was like, your hoo-hoo's hanging out. And I'm like, Mom, it's hot. Because I was wearing that, Shmuley Noktelbaum touched my butt, and I was like, whoa, Shmuley, even though I'm wearing this outfit does not give you the right to touch my butt. Okay, it didn't really matter where my feathers were. Whose fault is that?
I think it's Shmuley's fault, undoubtedly.
My grandfather would be shocked to know that I talked to him. Honestly, shocked to know that I talked to him. Jews, how can you say those things?
All right, let's say the Israelis were like, we'll let you stay, we just need to cut off a part of your penis. Would you stay?